All right, and so for our next topic, can we talk? In today's society, do tattoos stop you from accomplishing anything? Panelists?
Well, I guess I'll go first. My perspective on that is, in some ways it can, because I don't think people go out of their way to be prejudiced, but in the sense of the word, is prejudging. And the first thing you judge somebody on is what you see. So if you see certain things, you categorize by age, you kind of, piece things together in your mind. Whether it's true or not, you don't really know until you get to know the person. So you being the person and your body is, your means of communication and expression, you want to present yourself in a way that you don't want to have any negative perceptions. You can control that in some aspects. So you don't want people to think the wrong thing, but you kind of still want to be yourself, just being, open-minded to how other people could receive what you do, what you wear, or what kind of ink you have, what you're expressing.
I think that that too much attention is on the ink. So I'm saying that, yes, I do feel like, you tattoos can be a hindrance, but like I said, I feel like there's too much focus on the actual ink compared to what you actually have tattooed on you. You get what I mean?
Agreed.
So it's like, if what's his name, Colin Kaepernick, for example, like he just from outside looking in, it was, oh well, he's tatted, and I'm using that just because he's the kind of Cinderella story from the 49ers and everything, and he's like, oh, he's tatted, but then what do you find out? He has a bunch of Bible verses all over him. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel as though, like Steve said, it's kind of, you do get prejudged because you see ink on somebody, but I feel as though you definitely need to, people need to look at it and see what the ink says first.
I definitely do agree. I do feel like more job opportunities specifically are more forgiving than others. So like office areas might not be as into the whole tattoos on visible face, neck, wherever, but places like designer areas, artistic venues, although that's kind of stereotypic, but that is art. So in essence, they might be a little bit more okay or welcoming to ink on your body than I feel like some businesses would be. And I think that goes back to other things too, like natural hair, like for example, like a whole bunch of other things like people just aren't used to. So because they're not used to it, they reject it. So that's what I feel.
Now, I have the question I have now is that, how do you tell someone, because you have tattoos or don't get tattoos, so you can get a job, and they say to you, well, they can accept me for who I am? Because I've heard that response before. Do you guide someone and tell them that, well, you have to adjust to those because they're the ones that are going to dictate your paycheck and your employment? Or do you say, you're right, I agree with you, do what you want?
In today's society, like times have definitely changed, because I feel as though jobs are a whole lot more lenient, nowadays compared to what they used to be, and that's definitely the leniency is rising, I think, as the days go on, because just for example, I know with my job, there's people at my job that have tattoos, on our hands and things of that nature, and they got the job. So I feel as though it just take us back 5 years ago, I don't think they would have got the job with a tattoo on their hand, or you know what I mean. And like I said, I just think the leniency is definitely is growing, because just like you two said, it's almost like people are expressing themselves, and their surroundings are kind of getting used to it. Like that whole express yourself is kind of, getting more accepted, I guess you could say, in society.
Trend.
Well,
that too.
Well, just speaking for me personally, I do have a tattoo, but a lot of people don't really know that unless you see, me playing basketball or something like that, because it's on my shoulder. And the reason I got it was for my grandmother who passed. So I didn't get it right away at the time because I wasn't old enough. But when I turned 18, I wanted to get it. My mom kind of, you know, told me, she was saying, you know what, you're an adult, you're gonna do what you wanna do, how you wanna do it. She always said, be conscious of how other people are gonna think of it. So, for instance, it's on my shoulder, so versus getting it maybe on my forearm or somewhere else where it really sticks out, especially if you just have one in a particular area, I chose to get it on my shoulder. You know, kind of two birds with one stone. So I had a scar there, so it kind of covers that up. And it meant something to me, and that's the reason why I got it. But I feel like a lot of times, like everybody was saying, it is trendy. People see stuff and want to get it. And it's like, I feel like I got mine because I am, you know, creative and artistic, and I like that and I appreciate that type of art. But at the same time, I feel like it's something that's permanent. It's not like a picture where you can remodel later, so you want to make sure it means something to you, and it costs money too, so I mean, do it at the right time.
So that takes us to Steve Taylor, Steve Catania, who came in, did an interview with us about being a part of a rock band and music and things like that, which a lot of times gets that stereotype of having tattoos all over and everything. So why don't you guys check out Steve and tell us and you can decide what you think about tattoos after that.